Um, Obviously, we're super excited to be 7-1. I thought we came out of the gate really well, and that's probably the best offensive output we've had in the first quarter this season. But obviously a little disappointed with just the consistency of us continuing to defend, continuing to push the ball with some energy. I thought we did look a little bit sluggish. Obviously, offensively, we didn't produce near as much in each quarter. But at the end of the day, we got a lot of kids some playing time and a lot of things that we can continue to work on. We will have to play much better on Tuesday. And we're excited about that opportunity, especially to play in front of all the kids for Education Day. But tonight, I think I loved our crowd. I'm so thankful that they came. I think that's the first time that we've played on a weekend this year at home. So really glad that they came out. Hope that they'll come back. But continue to want to play better. I think we got to value the basketball better. We had way too many turnovers, and we had some pretty high defensive goals for this game and didn't really attain them. So we want to continue to work on things like that, and these kids will. I think that they're starting to figure some things out, but consistency is something that we'll definitely have to have entering Big 12 play for sure.
And for the past couple of games, it's been really well-rounded scoring. It doesn't matter if it's a freshman or a senior, everyone's contributing. I guess from your perspective, being one of the senior leaders, how impressed are you with the newcomers and how they're adapting to the pace of the game?
That's why they were recruited. We knew they could do really big things early. Like, we knew they could come in and make a big impact. So honestly, I'm just really proud of them, and I love the confidence they're building and the confidence our team has in them. And in terms of just our scoring being well-rounded, that's what's going to make us really hard to guard. And I think that's something that's really going to help us in Big 12 play.
And for you, hitting 500 career points, did you kind of know at that moment? It was a really nice three that you had right there at the beginning. Did you kind of know at that moment?
I'm not going to lie. I don't keep up with any of that, so I had no idea. But that's awesome. That's great. I'm excited for it. Just going to keep the season going, I guess,
Bridges, how do you describe the confidence level of the team right now? Obviously on the winning streak, and it just seemed like y'all came out really fast today.
Well, wins always help confidence. It's really nice that we're getting to learn lessons in wins rather than losses, and I think that's a really big thing. So it's not defeating for any of us. And so, just the fact that we're getting to build confidence right now and build success, that's one of our main things right now is stack success. Don't just be satisfied. And as long as we can keep building on that, I think we're going to have a pretty good year.
And Education Day coming up next.
Yes.
What is it like for you, playing in front of a bunch of kids like that?
Oh, it's always fun. The music choices are fantastic on Education Day. So, having to focus on the bench, not listening to the music, that'll be good. It's always really fun getting to play in a loud atmosphere. That's a great home court advantage for us, especially it being against Sam Houston State, who's had a big win against TCU. So I think that'll be a really big advantage for us that day.
So I don't know the exact numbers, but it looked like you guys had the highest crowd for the season so far. So how did it feel to just play on a weekend, just crowd full of people?
Playing in front of people is always the best. The fact that we finally got to play on a weekend, I think, is what really helped bring people in, and the fact that they were willing to come in on their weekend, I think, was awesome. And it just shows the community and the support they have for Lady Raider basketball, and hopefully we can just get them to keep coming back.
Hey, Ariel mentioned kind of the connection that you guys have been having with some of the underclassmen. What are some of those conversations like, whether it's during a game, maybe at practice, kind of just building them up? What have you seen as being kind of one of the leaders on the team?
I think we've gotten pretty good at communicating with one another in terms of not trying to tear each other down, just essentially giving the information or whatever and taking it and just knowing it's out of a love and support and wanting everyone to do the best they possibly can. So the fact that our upperclassmen and underclassmen are taking that advice, I think is what's helping us so much right now.
You and Bailey, one of the underclassmen leading the way in points today. What's your relationship been like with her so far? And being around college basketball now as long as you have, what do you see in a freshman like that?
Oh, Bailey's awesome. I love her. She is one of just a hard-nosed player. She's always going to be one of the toughest people on the court. And so getting to play with her and has been really, really fun. And I'm really excited. I'm happy I got to play with her on my final year. So getting to see her succeed so early in her career, I think just is showing a glimpse of what she's going to do here. And I'm just really excited to get to watch her. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Oh, thanks.
Hey, Coach. You mentioned the defensive effort maybe not being as consistent as you hoped it to be, but you still held them to 48 points. I think that tied a season low for you guys. Is it still rewarding to see kind of, even if you aren't playing consistent defense, that you guys are still holding teams to these low-scoring outputs?
For sure, yeah. We definitely have some goals that we want to obtain during the actual game, and holding them to a certain number of points is certainly it. And yeah, I mean, I think 48 is a good effort, but I did think that we lost some kids late on the 3-point line where they got some wide open threes. Just didn't rotate to our spot 1 and spot 2 at times. I did think we did a pretty good job on the boards against them and didn't give them a lot of second chance opportunities, but would just like to see our overall intensity stay focused for longer period of time.
Again, you held a team to 48 points in this game. The game before, you guys put up your best offensive scoring output. As you guys continue to kind of develop throughout this season, where do you think this team is so far as Big 12 play kind of looms towards the end of the month?
Yeah, I think we're still really trying to put some pieces together. I think we'll have Kat back soon, and that'll certainly add to our experience at the post position. But I feel like our lineups are getting a little bit more stable, I guess, if you will, and our kids are understanding their roles a little bit better. We're playing a lot of kids, a lot of minutes, and so that's not allowing them necessarily to get in some great rhythms at times, but it does show our depth as well. So I think it's still a work in progress. I'm glad that we still have several games at home this month to be able to just continue to work on those things and to really get in a good rotation before we start Big 12 play.
Coach, the past couple games or basically all season long, you guys have really been putting that foot on the gas, in the fourth quarter. You guys are averaging almost 21 points in that fourth quarter. What has been, I guess, the difference, the it factor heading into that final period?
I hope it's just experience, from last year. I think that our seniors are understanding that they've got to finish games, and so they're talking to the underclassmen about that. I think that we kind of, our kids get upset with themselves when they're not being as consistent as we want them to be, whether it be the second quarter, the third quarter. And so I think that they're learning how to turn it on a little bit more and finish. But I still, again, today I didn't think that we did that as well as we have in the past. And so we'll have to continue to work on it. But I do think that our kids are finishing a lot better. And I think that's all from last year's experience.
And you guys really crashed the boards really hard today. Can you guys speak on that effort defensively and offensively?
Yeah, we've got to continue to get second chance opportunities. And I know we've been shooting the ball really well lately. And, just playing some back-to-back games that we're playing right now through this little spurt is concerning for me just with our shots, because I think our legs might be a little bit tired or, we might not be in a great rhythm at times. And so we really tried to emphasize today to go get second chance opportunities and to be a presence on the boards, because we need those opportunities. And, we got 14 offensive rebounds today, which is really good. And especially whenever we have a smaller lineup on the floor for our guards to go and to be aggressive on the glass is really helpful.
And how's Kyla doing? I saw she went out with the trainers. Is she okay?
Yeah, she's going to be good. Yeah, I think she just tweaked her ankle a little bit.
Come back up front to Andrew for your part of the room.
Coach, 27 points off turnovers tonight. Was transition offense something you guys have been working on lately?
We work on that all the time, but we certainly want our defense to be able to create some offense for us. And I really didn't feel like we were playing at the pace that I wanted us to play at. I wanted us to play a little bit faster today, and I felt like we were kind of running in mud at times. But I did think that, obviously we were able to convert some turnovers into points, and that's always good.
And how would you say the underclassmen are feeling closer to Big 12 play?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're doing well. I think they're figuring things out. They're getting more confident. I think that Bailey and Riley and Jasmine Shavers particularly are really coming together and gaining some great confidence. I think they'll continue to just learn after each game, just whether it be, offensively, how to wait on screens or take better shots or whatever that may be. But then also the defensive side of it is where I really want them to understand how to lock down consistently for 4 quarters in order for their offense to do well as too, because I think all 3 of those kids are really offensive minded and they're very great scorers for us, but they can really defend when they are told to defend and when they're held accountable to defend. So I need them to continue to know that the better their defense is, the better their offense is going to be as well.
Coach, you mentioned, sort of the rotations being pretty stable right now. It was the 3rd game in a row. You had the same starting 5. Do you sort of foresee that kind of smaller starting 5, being the way you go most of the time in the future?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's going to be about matchups. It's going to be about practice, about who's practicing well. It's going to be about injuries, things like that. Clearly we are big and we want to go big when we can. But at the same time, we also need to be able to defend. We also need to have some great offensive output and see what clicks. When we were in Las Vegas, that's what worked for us, was a smaller lineup just to get a better start, and so we've kind of tackled that, as you can see. But it's more about the start and being able to get our motors running and to get some good looks at the basket early, as long as we're not giving up a lot of baskets on the defensive end. And then when our bigger kids can come in and really develop a post presence, I think that helps us tremendously. And we'll have to have that in the Big 12. I mean, the Big 12 is so big and athletic. I mean, we'll have to do that. But I do think that we're learning that we can put different lineups on the floor for matchup purposes whenever we get to Big 12.
What are some strengths that you saw from your girls that you'll take into Sam Houston? What are some weaknesses that y'all will work on?
I thought Jasmine Shavers crushed the glass really well for us today, and Bailey Maupin did as well. So from the guard position, I thought those 2 really rebounded it well for us, and we'll need to continue to do that. I clearly thought the start of the game was much better for us, and really our whole defensive output the first half was good. The second half is disturbing to me, just because I feel like we've got to learn how to defend people in the second half just as well as we do in the first half. So continuing to just be consistent there. And then the turnover issue, we can't turn a basketball over 18 times and be as productive as we want to be. So we just got to be a little bit smarter. Some of those turnovers in the first half, I know we had 2 offensive fouls. I think we had a 5-second call and a 3-second call. So those are 4 fouls right there, that are 4 turnovers that we can control for sure. And then just not being so careless with the basketball. So turnovers will always be key, and then obviously rebounding the basketball as well.
How has it been from your perspective to see this young team bond and go 7-1?
Yeah, really exciting. I mean, I'm really proud of them. We've still got a long ways to go, and we want to just continue to stack success. I mean, I love that Bren said, that we want to learn from our wins is a lot better than learning from losses, and that's so true. And I think this team had to learn from a lot of losses last year, and so I think those seniors are really leading with some competitiveness in themselves, and they want to win games and they want to set the stage for Big 12 play. So I think it's important that our young kids learn that early, and I think they're learning that really well right now. But also, in our recruiting, we try to recruit kids that are winners, that have won, and that are used to doing that. And so they'll continue to do that and just build on that confidence.
Anything else for Coach?
Thank you, guys.